because they were. Who knows? Hello again and welcome back to March May's Midlife Dolly Crisis, and as promised I'm going to start unboxing my Barbie Extra dolls. So I was kind of umming and ahhing on whether I should start at the earliest number or just do them at random. I basically picked this one up randomly and I thought, actually, you know what, this actually might be a nice one to open at the beginning of January, because it seems to be full of good vibes and messages and, you know, the nice stuff to kind of see through what could be, you know, a long month for a lot of people. So this is number 9. She was released in 2020, so she is kind of an older doll. As I did mention in my previous video about my doll collecting goals for 2024, it would appear that Barbie Extra is sadly no longer with us, which feels weird, but also, when you look back, the doll line hasn't actually been going that long, so it's not as if, you know, we're losing an old friend. It seems to have been such a big thing, really. It feels like there's very few sort of Barbie lines where they're trying to do something a bit different, rather than, you know, here's sort of the fashionistas or here's the kind of the career dolls or whatever. This kind of felt like it was a lot more sort of fun and sort of interesting, and obviously the dolls have at least some posability, which is nice. Maybe they just didn't sell. Maybe people didn't like the kind of the garish fashion. I know that a lot of people have complained about, you know, the fashion is a bit sort of not great, but I kind of think maybe kids liked the sort of the colourfulness of them and the sort of the layering of them, and obviously you can kind of pare it down and stuff like that. But anyway, obviously, rest in peace, Barbie Extra. Maybe we'll see you back again one day. Who knows? In years to come, they might be doing reproductions of them, like they seem to be doing with my scene apparently now. Which, you know, who saw that coming? Although I guess with Bratz coming back, maybe everyone saw that coming. So this is the front of the box. We've obviously got this sort of lollipop thing here with some stars sort of in it. Let me try and get the. Yeah, the glitter thing doesn't seem to want to move around that much. So that might not have the greatest effect, but there we go. So there's the glittery thing at the top. We've also got an image down here of what she looks like. This is her pet, which appears to be a sort of a miniature alligator or something, who is munching on a lollipop. I'm not sure if that is what the alligators eat in the wild. So if you do see an alligator, don't throw a lollipop at it, because it probably won't be interested. So that is the front. As I said, this one is number 9. I don't know if I did mention that actually. This is number 9. So I think this is part of probably the second wave of these dolls. On the side here we have a close-up of the artist's impression. And then on the back, we've got the full image of the doll there. And then we have the other ones that came in that wave as well. We also have images of the stuff that she's meant to come with here. And obviously we've got the pet thing again. And yeah, so this has like a perforated bit, which I think I ignored previously. We'll open it this time. I might actually give that a go and see if that makes any difference, because I think it was quite tricky the last time I opened one of these. So I'm going to open this up off camera, and then we will have a closer look at her and all the stuff that she comes with. Hello, I'm back, and she is fine out of the box. She wasn't actually too tricky to get out. There wasn't a lot of sort of extra stuff. She seemed to be wearing, I'm presuming, most of it. So the only kind of extra bits which were kind of dotted around within the packaging were sort of these bits here. It does feel a bit churlish to be bemoaning the way that things are being packaged up in a doll line which, you know, no longer exists. But to be honest, Mattel will probably do this with whatever they do next anyway. Annoyingly, this obviously is a very kind of delicate piece. It's made of tulle, and you know, it's lovely. There's lots of frills and everything on it. This was basically attached with the tiniest of those Kimble tags to her dress, first of all. They were the tiniest Kimble tags. They were so small. And they weren't just attached there. There was actually some attaching one bit of frill to kind of the bottom bit, which made no sense at all. I think there's probably still a bit of the tag still in, because I can't actually find how to get it out, because it's so small and annoying. And obviously I don't want to sort of rip anything, because, you know, this is basically like a net, so you don't really want to sort of be pulling things apart just to try and get to a little bit of plastic that's still stuck in there. But yeah, so that was annoying. She had 3 Kimble tags in the back of her head, which again seems pretty pointless. The rest of it was more or less okay. She seemed to have sort of less issues than others, but it was just the fact that, you know, something so delicate, let's stick some Kimble tags in there and make it near impossible to kind of get them out again. So let's have a look first of all at the extra bits that she came with. So obviously she came with a pet, because this is the Barbie Extra line. So she comes with this, yeah, alligator or crocodile or whatever. He's actually quite substantial compared to some of them. He seems like he's, or she, they seem to have a bit of weight to them. The head is kind of made of, I think, a different material to the rest of it. The body feels kind of a bit rubbery, and the head feels more sort of like a plastic. It says sweet. It's got like a grill. I believe that's what you call them, at the front of its mouth, which says sweet in gold. I'd kind of prefer it without that, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, so that is the pet. I remember when Barbie had sort of like handbags made of alligator. Now she has an actual alligator. But yeah, so that is the pet. We've got a lollipop here. Now I don't know if this is for the alligator or for the doll. The alligator certainly can't hold it. I also doubt that you know, Barbie can hold it either, but there we go. So that is the lollipop, which is quite cute. That's all in pink, and there's no sort of painted details or anything like that. It's just sort of moulded on. So that is that. And then we've got her handbag, which obviously quite randomly is a sort of a keyboard design. It's quite cute. I quite like it. I like that it's kind of this sort of wavy sort of pattern as well. Wavy shape, rather. It's got studs all the way around it, which you might or might not be able to see. It's got a sort of a faux chain handle on the corner. And obviously we do have painted details. We've got the black keys are painted black. There is nothing on the back. The back is just very, very plain. But yeah, so we have that. Obviously it doesn't open. It's tiny anyway, so it wouldn't make much difference if it did. But that is the handbag. So we then have these, which are a pair of, I guess, sunglasses. They're in yellow. They are star-shaped. So they're a bit kind of Elton John. I do like them. They're clear, so presumably you can see the eyes through them. They are my preferable sort of doll sunglasses, or glasses generally for dolls. It's nice when you can see the eye, because it makes it more realistic. So that is those. So they're the kind of the extra bits. Let's have a look at her. So we'll have a look at her face first. So there we go. She does have a really nice face. The screening seems pretty good. I don't believe there's any pixelation. Now I'm doubting myself, so I need to have a look. No, I think we're okay. We're okay with that. So she's got sort of like violet eyes, which are very nice. She has a bit of blushing on her cheeks, and she just has a very simple sort of pink lipstick. She does have a little bit of eye makeup, which looks again like that might be sort of a bit of pink, but it's quite small and very subtle. And she does have quite big brows, which is always nice to see as well. She has dimples in her cheeks on either side there. I don't know what the name of this face mould is. I'm sure if you look online, someone else will be able to tell you that. But yeah, so that is a face. I forgot to mention she is a curvy body. So she has just simple brown hair, which isn't overly long. So it's kind of just sort of past the shoulders, really. It kind of goes to her elbow, I guess. It is shaved on one side, so we only have hair rooted from kind of like one side to the other, and then we have a blank bit here which is just sort of painted brown to make it look like it's been shaved. I would have preferred if it had been flocked, because obviously that's kind of preferable, but it is just a painted detail. The hair feels okay. I don't believe there's any product in it. Don't ask me what the fibre is, I have no idea, but it actually feels quite soft, so I'm presuming it's not the bad stuff, but you never know. In her hair, she does have these sort of grips in there, or hair slides. So she's basically got 5 of those, which is, I guess, kind of excessive. Obviously, you could remove some and just leave it with 1 or none if you wanted. But I guess it's kind of like nice to have a variety of accessories, of hair accessories anyway. One is like a simple clip. Another one, it looks like a sort of a row of pearls. There's one that looks like, I mean, I thought it was snowflakes, but I think it's more sort of starfish there. And then one says love, and the bottom one, again, is sort of like meant to be sort of jewels, I think, there. So that is those, and they are kind of attached at the back. And I presume they're kind of easy enough to sort of remove if you wanted to. I don't know what the hair will be like underneath that. It might be a bit kind of like wavy because of where they've been sort of stuck in there. If we go further down, we've then got her earrings. Now the earrings I don't particularly like, and one of the reasons I don't like them is that because they kind of stick out, which isn't great. And also these ones you cannot remove. So I know there is a way that you can remove them. I think you have to kind of boil the head or something, and then that softens the plastic, then you can remove the earrings. So I might do it at some point, because I'm really not very keen on them. And it would be different if I felt that they sat in the ears better, but they don't really sit that well in there at all, as far as I can see. So yes, I'm not a huge fan of that. Let's take off this amazing jacket, and then we can see what's underneath. So, she has got a white t-shirt, which I'm presuming, yeah, so it's kind of like a short white t-shirt, which is under there. If you look at the back, it kind of goes sort of midriff level there. There's Velcro on the back of that. There's also Velcro on the back of the rainbow dress. So I do actually quite like the dress. I think a lot of people didn't like it. I'm not really into all these kind of like words of wisdom that things seem to have on them, you know, the whole good vibe thing. They say shine bright like the stars, which is great. I mean, stars are dead, aren't they? So I don't know. Anyway, that aside, I'm sure it's a very hopeful message for everyone. But yeah, so that is the dress. I do like the dress. It has slits down either side of them. As I said, she is a curvy girl. So obviously she does have a curvy body. So she's got kind of like a thicker waist, a thicker thighs, and the articulation on these is the same as all the other Barbie Extra dolls. So they have got the head tilt, like that. The arms will go up and out. There is articulation at the elbow. There's articulation at the wrist. There's no articulation at the waist or any of the body bit. The body is kind of just like one solid piece. But then there's obviously articulation at the hip and also at the knee. There's no articulation in the feet. That the feet are just kind of like stationary. Now, I don't know if all of the dolls in the Barbie Extra line are flat-footed. The other two that I've got, I believe, are flat-footed. So that's why I'm kind of asking whether or not they're all going to be like that. As I say, I do have about 10 or 11 more of these to unbox, so maybe we'll see some which aren't, but maybe it's a thing with these dolls and they're all flat-footed, which means we are going to get a variety of different shoes. So let's have a look and see what she's got. So she's got kind of like platform trainers or sneakers, or actually, are they meant to be boots? The fact that they're white makes me think that they are kind of like sneakers or, you know, training shoes or whatever. They don't have any painted detail on. As I say, they've got like these big kind of soles on the bottom of them, like platforms. There is detail which is kind of moulded on the front, so we've got laces and we've got eyelets, and we've obviously got the tongue of the shoe as well. I think we do have a kind of like a pattern just kind of like around it as well, just kind of like the stitching pattern, which is fine, and they've got slits in the back so they're easily removed. She's not wearing anything under this, so there's no underwear. She's just got the normal sort of printed on underwear there. So she's also got this on her wrist, which is a bracelet there. So there's a simple sort of silver bracelet. There is kind of like a pattern on. I'm not really sure what it's meant to be. It doesn't go all the way around. There's a bit here where you can obviously remove it. But that is quite cute. It's quite a nice bit. I mean, it's that kind of like dull grey, which I suppose is meant to look like silver. It's a shame it isn't actual, well, not actual silver, but, you know, it's not metallic. It's not a shiny material. Obviously, this does match the earrings, which, again, I don't really like those either. But, you know, these are bits that can easily be sort of removed and sort of changed over. Obviously, you know, the dress is kind of like a big piece of this, I would say. The other piece, which I think is probably bigger and I think a bit nicer, is this, which is the tulle kind of jacket, which has got all these amazing frills on. It is a really lovely piece. I do really like it. I know it's kind of over the top and dramatic, but I do kind of like that. And it looks really well made, to be honest. Obviously, as I say, it's got all these different kind of layers on. The raw edges are on the tulle itself, which I guess is okay. I don't suppose it's going to sort of fray, but it would probably be very difficult to kind of hem this kind of thing anyway. But yeah, so that I really like. I'm going to put her back in this and I'll have a look at her with all of her stuff. Okay, so here she is in all her glory. I've obviously put the jacket back on. She's got her handbag here, which seems a bit random. I would have thought maybe with references to kind of a rainbow and stars, stuff like that, maybe they'd give her like something relating to that. Obviously she has star glasses. You think maybe give her a star bag or in the shape of a rainbow or something? But no, we've got a keyboard, which is random, but I guess fair enough. Obviously, she's got her pet crocodile or alligator here. So we have got the lollipop here. She can actually hold it if you basically put it in her hands and then use a rubber band to try and sort of get it round there and get it stuck in the hand, which is fine, and it's kind of a cute little item to have. It's a shame she can't hold it with like one of those sort of grip things, you know, like those ones that they kind of put on so you can attach it to the finger, because it's kind of one of those pieces that's probably going to end up getting lost anyway, I would have thought, because, you know, the child can't really do much with it, I wouldn't have thought. But there we go. So that is that. Originally, this was not one of the extras that I was going to get, but I found her quite cheap somewhere. So I did buy her because she was quite inexpensive. I do like all the pieces that she comes with. I'm not sure I'd put them all together like this. Obviously, you know, this jacket for me is kind of the best bit. I do really like that. I do like her. I think she's a nice base doll as well. Let me know what you think of her in the comments down below. Let me know if you have her and maybe you've restyled her to, you know, in other clothes. If you've enjoyed the video, please please give it a like. Please consider sharing the video, and also please consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. And I will see you in the next video. So until then, take care. Bye.